Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe. It's down there, folks. It only takes a sec. It really helps. And tonight I'm going to talk about HMP Wandsworth and what's the problem with the London prisons. Because there is a big problem with all of the big prisons in London. They're all built within a really developed area. There's bloody thousands and hundreds of thousands of houses all around them, and they stick there like a blot on the landscape. Have you seen the state of Wandsworth? Anyway, don't forget, tomorrow at 7 p.m. here on Tales from the Jails, we've got a live broadcast. You can join in. Ask me questions. There's a chat room there, a chat box, Just post your questions up there and I'll do my very best to answer. And here, you can put comments down below. I always do my very best to respond to all the comments as best I can. And I really will do that. So we're looking at these big monstrosities that are in the middle of massively developed areas. Now, obviously, when they were built, they probably wouldn't be, because Wandsworth was built in 1851. Of course, we're talking about inner London here, in the Greater London area. Anyway, if we assume that Wormwood Scrubs is inner London, it's West 12, isn't it? If memory serves me well. Wormwood Scrubs on Duquesne Road, named after Sir Edmund Duquesne, who was the head of the prisons in the 19th century. He used to boast that he could set his watch by the time that they unlocked and locked up at the Scrubs. I saw a documentary. This is just going slightly off at a tangent. I saw a documentary on YouTube today. I watched it this morning. It was about Strangeways in 1957. It's there on YouTube if you type it in, a BBC documentary, HMP, and it was called Strangeways at the time, yeah. And completely different. I mean, they were talking about the place being massively overcrowded when there were 900 inmates in there. 900 inmates. They said that 300 of the inmates were having to share cells. When I worked at Strangeways, there was one time we had 2,000 inmates. 2,000 inmates in Strangeways. It was so overcrowded that they were putting mattresses on the floor of the gymnasium, and inmates were having to sleep on just the mattresses on the floor. And the POA did absolutely nothing. What they should have said was, this is a threat to the health and safety of our members here, and we aren't doing it. We aren't admitting any more prisoners. You can say what you want, that's it. You put another inmate in there, we're all walking out. Never did anything like that. Why did the POA allow female staff on the landings? Why do they allow it to today? Well, basically because the Prison Officers Association is now, and always has been, run by management. Run by management for management. It's a very strange situation that you can't get. I mean, no real trade union would do a deal with their employer to enforce overtime on a compulsory basis. They just wouldn't, because it means that their members are not guaranteed any time off. So that all that the union is supposed to be doing is to negotiating working conditions and rates of pay. The rates of pay for prison staff are so poor that they're now having to recruit grannies and granddads. Seriously, they're recruiting people in their late 50s and 60s to actually work the landings because they can't get healthy, fit, strong young men who won't work there. Or they're getting the hostess brigade. And as I said, we're talking about HMP Wandsworth here. So HMP Wandsworth has just seen this, what's her name? Linda D'Souza Urdu, yeah, it's still in the news. She's going to court, I believe, on Tuesday, Uxbridge Magistrates Court, misconduct in public office. Well, that's one way of putting it, getting yourself backscuttled in a cell by an inmate. But basically, I mean, what's she done it for? Somebody has suggested here, that she's done it for publicity. And she may very well get some publicity out of it, and somebody to ghost write a book for her, and a TikTok channel, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is, and off she goes. She's got another career. But it's kind of blemished her. The way that people see her from now on, she'll be just seen as a slut, which is basically what she is, folks. But there's a big problem, of course, as I keep battering on about here, about the hostess system with the tiller girls and all that. They can't possibly, because how do they instill discipline into prisoners? They can't, can they? And a number of ex-inmates who have been writing to me are saying that the prisons are now run by groups of people who are forming themselves into factions. And one of the big factions in the London prisons are the Muslim Brotherhood, the Islamics. I'm very bothered about whether somebody's a member of the Muslim religion, the Islam religion, or the religion of Jabba the Hutt. I don't care. But when they start forming themselves into gangs, then it's a real threat to the good order and discipline of the establishment. Which brings me back to the big units in London: Pentonville, Wandsworth, Wormwood Scrubs. These massive great prisons in the middle of urban areas no longer serve the function properly, and because they can't get to them, there's nowhere to park. They need to really rethink this, and they are in severe disrepair. Apparently, Wandsworth is infested with vermin. It's massively overcrowded, understaffed, and one of the amazing things that I recently discovered is that 40% of all prison officers are now female. How does that work? Well, the only reason it works is because the big strong men won't do the job. They're going to go and get paid somewhere else. That's how it works. Anyway, tomorrow at 7 p.m. here we'll discuss all this and why they should knock down all these old Victorian jails, flatten them, maybe make a little museum. At the Scrubs you could keep the famous gates. The big twin towers at Wormwood Scrubs, and make a little museum there, but flatten all the cells, put something useful on there. Same thing with Wandsworth and Pentonville. They're just outdated and disgrace, not fit for the purpose anymore. And listen, if the Prison Officers Association really was a trade union, it wouldn't allow its members to work there, because it's dangerous. It's a threat to their health and safety. No risk assessment has been done on whether they should put 20-year-old females onto the rings with dangerous inmates. Nope, nothing. And I don't know anybody that's managed to get compensation for being injured on duty. And you will get injured on duty if you can't protect yourself. And certainly the tiller girls won't help you. I would ring my dinger, but my grandson has been over, my 12-year-old grandson. I don't know what he's done with it. He's moved it. It's gone. So I'll just have to make a little ding-dong noise so Larry and his goats can be forewarned. Ding-dong-ding. Yes, that's it. That's today's song. I'm going to read you a poem now. Yeah, okay. Are you sitting comfortably? This is a nice poem by Rudyard Kipling. It's The Way Through the Woods. They shut the road through the woods 70 years ago. Weather and rain have undone it again, and now you would never know. There once was a road through the woods before they planted the trees. It is underneath the copper and heath and the thin anemones. Only the keeper sees that where the ring-dove broods and the badgers roll at ease, there once was a road through the woods. Yet, if you enter the woods on a summer evening late, when the night air cools on the trout ring pools, where the otter whistles his mate, they fear not men in the woods because they see so few. You will hear the heat of a horse's feet and the swish of a skirt in the dew, steadily cantering through the misty solitudes, as though they perfectly knew the old lost road through the woods. But there is no road through the woods. Rudyard Kipling, Tales from the Jails. See you all tomorrow, 7 p.m. here. Thank you.